Let's go the other side. Let's move. Excuse me. Let's move.
Communication from the speaker. Let's give him the welcome that is normally accorded.
Let's stop here now because you are not. Let's hold here. Move together there. Move together.
Any doubt that His Excellency the President is in our midst right now. Let's give him the welcome that is normally accorded and allow him to proceed to his tent and thereafter Parliament.
Please take your seats. Your Excellency, we are immensely privileged to benefit from your presence at today's special sitting. Your Excellency, the 11th Parliament appreciates your immense support for decisions to take Parliament to the people at regional sitting. I remember we came and discussed this with you. I came with the Deputy Speaker and you okayed it. You welcomed the idea and it is really a very, very good idea. We want to thank you so much for that. Your Excellency, the embracement of regional sitting is in pursuit of the legislative vision of a transformed, independent, and a people-centered Parliament. Your Excellency, sir, contrary to what the critics are raising, that the regional sittings of Parliament are costing us a lot, that is not true. The Parliament sitting is legally and procedurally grounded in Article 95, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of Republic of Uganda, 1995, and Rule 17 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, which empowers the Speaker to convene Parliament at such a place and time through a proclamation. Your Excellency, the regional sitting will exhaustively deliberate upon the most urgent matters that are intricate to the growth and development of a particular host area, and for this case, that is the northern area. And indeed, during yesterday's sitting, the House applauded your leadership in pacification, unification, and development in northern region. 20 years back, this region was not what it is today. The security that you brought to this region. A round of applause for His Excellency. Your Excellency, northern region has witnessed remarkable transformation, has witnessed in the urban infrastructural growth, especially under the support of municipality infrastructure development, USMID, the establishment of the public university in Gulu, Lira, Arua, the health sector infrastructural growth, and the progressive growth of the private sector. Your Excellency, we also recognize and appreciate the decision to elevate 3 municipalities into cities, and these are notably the Gulu City, Lira City, and then Arua City, plus Moroto. This elevation, Moroto, which is not yet operationalized, but it was passed. This elevation status has created immense opportunities for the region, which, if properly hastened, will bolster the development of this area. Your Excellency, sir, we also recognize that northern Uganda is not a homogeneous society. The different sub-regions within northern Uganda have peculiar realities which impact on their growth and development. However, there are cross-cutting realities, notably the post-war recovery, the high level of poverty, an ever-growing youth population, a fair number of which are unemployed, a large tract of arable land, a vast natural resources, the high influx of refugees, environmental degradation, limited transport infrastructure, heavy reliance on subsistence agriculture, limited value addition to agricultural output, retrogressive cultural practices such as the cattle rustling and subjection of women and girl child, the enormous water resources, lack of health facilities, lack of enough schools. For instance, if you look at Gulu City does not have an S5 A-level school, and we have a number of issues that affect each and every area, that is West Nile, Acholi, Lango, and Karamoja. Then delayed compensation of war victims and lack of compensation for the land that was taken over during the insurgency. Your Excellency, the sitting specifically took cognizance of the need for mindset change as a major catalyst for increased production and socio-economic transformation in northern region. In addition, the House recognized the need to embrace a viable cash crop, livestock agriculture, agricultural mechanization, and value addition, and sustainable organic farming, among others. The sitting recognized the importance of reliable transport and communication infrastructure as enabler of growth and development. To this end, members raised the need for rehabilitation and development of the strategic national road infrastructure in different regions, notably Moroto Kotido, Kabong Karenga Road. There are so many, plus bridges. There are so many of them, and we shall hand it over to you, including our famous Karuma Bridge that is about to give way. Specifics of the areas of concern that this House has passed, as that the committees found on ground and need to be worked on in the northern region. The 4-acre model may not be provide some funds in societies, create market for these products, to have a participatory approach to what is being done in area and have a meaningful outcome in the region. Your Excellency, sir, at the end of the sitting, we will transmit these resolutions for your relevant action as this country. All these relate to finances. Our work is to find what is happening on the ground and report back to Parliament. Your Excellency, sir, I now want to take the singular honor of inviting you to address the House and by extension, Northern Region and Uganda on issues that is affecting this region. And just like you've told us that you have only 1 hour here, we had a small motion, if you can allow us, a small motion that can take about 20 minutes, and then you address the House. I don't know how, if you find it fit, Your Excellency, would you allow that? Thank you so much. Honorable Kimosho.
Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Your Excellency the President. Right Honorable Speaker, I reflected on what used to be here and what is here and what it has taken to put what is in place in northern Uganda and in Gulu in particular. I felt, Right Honorable Speaker, that it has taken extraordinary effort by the visionary leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, guiding the Uganda People's Defense Forces, a force that has sacrificed for over 20 years, trying to stabilize the northern region. I reflected, Right Honorable Speaker, a situation where they used to tell us that guns would be singing in different tones, alto, bass, and soprano, from morning to evening. That this place, there would never be a convergence of family. People were at the run. That the pictures we used to see of people having padlocks on their lips. Right Honorable Speaker, it dawned onto my mind and heart that this cannot be taken for granted. That this effort, Right Honorable Speaker, ought to be recognized and appreciated by the whole Parliament and Uganda at large. That now, Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday, we had a force of less than even 100 UPDF and police combined, and everyone was secure. Right Honorable Speaker, in the evening, we walked on the streets of Gulu, up to like 10 kilometers inside, for jogging and health fitness purposes. And everyone was enjoying themselves. Well, we all, and it was tarmac. Actually, it is more exemplary than most of the towns in this. To think that this happened because there was a purposeful and visionary leadership of both the nation and UPDF as an institution of government. But very finally, Right Honorable Speaker, I felt that we need to appreciate the extraordinary patriotic and the visionary spirit of the President. Right Honorable Speaker, even some of us members of Parliament and the other big rich men in town, whoever gets in money thinks of transferring their homes in those countries. I felt that for the President to have fought for peace since 60s up to now, and later on integrated his son, who is a general, and who made the last assault on Kony in Garamba, and delivered the tranquility that we see, it is also worth thanking the President for. And our appreciation also goes to all the UPDF commanders, but also General M.K. Muhoozi Kainerugaba for the last assault and effort that he took in Garamba. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Kimosho. Is the motion seconded by Okini PP, by Akol Anthony, by Honorable Okot, Honorable Lucy, Honorable Isaac Otimugui, Honorable Tom Azar, Honorable Awogon, Honorable David Lagen, Honorable Omona, the Minister, Honorable Amos Okot, Honorable Maneno, Honorable Kaduchu, by the whole house. The place is so peaceful.
The street children and the young people. And this is the result of the armed conflict that has been in the region. According to the statistics that you've got, Madam Speaker, so far we have about 2,000 street children and young people who are stranded in the streets, snatching women's handbag, grabbing money around in the local markets around. And right on the Speaker, life is becoming, we are getting back in a state of where there is no actual peace again in the real community where these women are living. So we need to deal with how to address the questions, the plight of these children who are living in the street, Madam Speaker. I want to implore Parliament and Your Excellency the President to ensure a special program for these street children in Gulu and the neighboring districts of Gulu City to settle down the children who are in the street. Right, Honourable Speaker. Secondly, there are special programs of government coming in the area, but of course when you look at the impact and how they are being received by the community, there's a lot of gap. This is coming because of mindset problem. Right, Honourable Speaker. Many people have talked about the question of mindset. What is bringing this? Is the result of the armed conflict. After the war, they brought in the program of PRDP. But PRDP had the component of ensuring that we address the question of psychosocial support. And this was not dealt with comprehensively, Right Honourable Speaker. And for this reason, we rushed quickly to implement development programs. We left the aspect of psychosocial support, Right Honourable Speaker. And that is why today, when we are living in our community, we have so many children who have returned from captivity. We have so many children who are born in captivity. They have nowhere they can belong. And these are people who need to be attended to psychologically very closely, Right Honourable Speaker. And then in our community, I pray that as we celebrate the achievement of peace today, it is very crucial, Right Honourable Speaker, that we provide support to the children who have returned from captivity, to provide support as far as psychosocial development is concerned, so that even the government programs that are coming like PDM and the others could be appreciated by our people. Because once you don't address the mindset of the people, we may not be able to do a lot. Right Honourable Speaker, as I finally make my last statements, Madam Speaker, sir, I want to, Madam Speaker, as we celebrate the peace that has been ushered in by the President and the contribution of the UPDF in bringing the peace, it is very important that we look at the impact of the armed conflict that has been so devastating in the region and design special affirmative action programs that can deal with it. We have vast land, but the utilization of the land per household, land holding is 10 acres to 12 acres, 15 acres, but usage is only 3 acres. There are capacity gaps in terms of how we can utilize the land that we have. These are results of the armed conflict. I pray, Madam Speaker, that colleagues do support the motion that has been raised by my honourable colleague, that we do appreciate the President and the UPDF in bringing peace in this part of the region. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honourable Lamwaka. I talked about the issue of compensation. I talked about the issue of the land, and where I said I will hand over the memorandum to the President, because these are issues that must be handled. Even after us achieving the peace in this area, this must be handled. When you see a woman defending what happened during that time, personally, I was in Gulu, you know it very well, where you would go and sleep just in Bobby here for 1 week. You cannot come back to Gulu, you cannot proceed, you're under siege. It is, and I'm giving only women to second, because women would be raped by you people. We need counseling of these children, because some of them are born out of that situation there.
Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker, and the entire House. I am seconding the motion to recognize, appreciate, and celebrate the efforts put by our head of state and other patriots for the peace, security, and sustainable governance that Uganda is enjoying. I am a child of the soil. I want first to appreciate the peace at hand, which we never had. The security at hand, which we never had. Good governance at hand, which we never had. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we thank His Excellency so much with other patriots for the work well done. Leadership is chosen by God. From the book of Psalm, chapter 13, verse 14. Therefore, we want to thank God for the Son, His Excellency, who has been ordained and given to this country so that we get liberated. As West Nilers, we were refugees in South Sudan. We were refugees in Congo. The President did a very remarkable work. When he took over power, he requested us to come back to Uganda. If you did not do that, Your Excellency, probably we will have changed our nationality, remained in Congo, remained in South Sudan. Your Excellency and the patriots of Uganda helped us to have peace, which we did not have, security which we did not have, because we are in the hands of people who did not recognize human rights. We got tortured. We were massacred. We vividly remain indebted to you because we remember the Umbati massacre, the Atiak massacre, and because of the peace, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, though with a lot of pains, we organize memorial services. This region was labeled a lot of names, negative names. As we are seated here, those who are in Gulu in our region have now changed mindsets. We were called Anyanya because this region was characterized with bloodshed. Here we are, seated comfortably, deliberating because of the fruits of His Excellency the President and other patriots of this country. Your Excellency, allow me say this. We leaders of West Nile and people of West Nile have listened to you carefully for all these years. We are changed people. We have learned from you. We appreciate the systems you have put in place. We now want you, with your team, we are requesting you and your team to help us to have economic liberation. We have learned. We are your ambassadors. We are your disciples. We are ready to lead our people. I want to end by giving special appreciation to you and the entire government because the conversation we are asking you to do is not because of your bad deeds. You are acting fatherly to compensate people because of the bad deeds of other people. Therefore, Your Excellency, we plead with you to continue with the godly spirit, to compensate us, especially West Nile. We have never seen any coin. And people are labeling us negatively. We are your ambassadors. I end by saying, may God continue to bless your family. May God continue to bless our son, MK. Your Excellency, we are here. as your children. We are here as your disciples. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, and the entire House. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As Parliament of Uganda, our focus now is on Northern Region. We want Northern Region, much as the peace has come, but we want the peace in the pockets also to be there. We want to thank you. I now want to take this singular honor to invite you, Your Excellency.
What you need to know, this is important for you if you are going to make useful contribution, is that the ability of the UPDF to do what has defied other governments, because like the insecurity of Karamoja was not new at all. It had been there even in the colonial times. It only got worse after 1979 when the Mafeniko, one of the tribes of Karamoja, looted the arms in Moroto barracks after the Amin soldiers ran away. They were able to get automatic weapons, which they had not so much before. But otherwise, the insecurity was there all the time, even in the colonial times. Now, the reason we were able to do these tasks is because of three things, which if you are really interested, you could listen to. Number one, ideology. The Honorable Jessica Ababiku is telling you, which I don't hear many people talking about, that by 1986, 500,000 people from West Nile were in exile in South Sudan and in Congo. Uganda was number 4 in the whole world in the export of refugees. It was competing with Ethiopia, Afghanistan, and I think Sudan. Uganda was number 4 in the export of the refugees. And what had the West Nile's run away from? From ideological bankruptcy. Because you remember, I was part of fighting Idi Amin. Nobody can say he fought Idi Amin more than I did. But as we were fighting Idi Amin, we always told our people and everybody that, look here, don't blame the mistakes of Idi Amin on all the West Nilers. Because all these things Amin is doing, he doesn't consult the people in West Nile, the villagers. He does them with a small clique of idiots. And don't blame the people of West Nile for this. Even when we were fighting UPC, it was the same. We told our cadres, don't blame the people of Northern Uganda, of Acholi, Lango, for the mistakes of Obote. Distinguish between the misleaders and the misled. This is the line of the NRM. Always make a distinction between the misleaders, who are few, and the misled, who are many, even if they are misled. But in many cases, most of the masses are not even involved at all. It's just small groups of people. So when we took over, when we defeated Amin in 1979, we had formed UNLF. There was a group called UNLF, which was like NRM. We were telling these people, please, wait, you are UPC and you are DP based on Catholics for DP, Protestants for UPC. Please, give us a holiday. Let's have a united group, UNLF. But they couldn't listen. They took advantage of the fact that we had our Tanzanian brothers here who didn't know our situation. They moved and they brought back the bankruptcy of the old politics of sectarianism. So those massacres, those are Babikus who must have been either children or in the womb. I don't think they were even there. I think it was the wombs which were running away. The running started in 1980, not 1979. 1979 we had, because we were together with the Tanzanians, we were with the UNLF, and we had said, isolate Amin. Don't blame the people of West Nile for the mistakes of Amin. But when they brought back their UPC and their nonsense DPs, that's how the problem came up. You Westerners, you are relatives of Idi Amin, so we kill you. Imagine to be killed because of my relative. Bankruptcy. So if you don't, if you say that you really appreciate, you better understand. So that's number one, ideology. We believe in individual responsibility. You cannot blame a group for the mistakes of one member of that group. That is point number one. And we never believe in sectarianism. So the first reason why we are able to do what Nakut, I thought Nakut was a Kada. Now I've discovered she's still a Karamajong. Because Nakut was saying, I can't understand why these people, why they sacrifice so much. Yes, if you are convinced, we are always celebrating the Martyrs' Day in Namugongo on the 3rd of June. Young people who refused to denounce religion and they were killed by Mwanga. On the 9th of May, we are always celebrating Martyrs' Day, Heroes' Day. For us, we are not just martyrs, we are heroes. We have both martyrs, but also we have heroes, because martyrs die without resistance. Heroes, they can kill you if you are not careful, as you try to kill them. So on the 9th, we celebrate the Heroes' Day. People who stood because of conviction. If you are convicted of something, you will stand. So the first reason how we were able to do what these other groups failed to do is because of ideology. Secondly, discipline. What Nakut was saying, how the cattle rustling came back in 2018, it was not just the removal of the troops. There were also some mistakes by our commanders, corruption. They stole the money of the LDUs. You know, we had Karamajong LDUs, and they stole their money. They didn't pay them. And you know how confused the Karamajong groups are. So they said, okay, so if you are not paying us, we are going to raid. That's how it all started. There was also another man, I've forgotten his name. Is it Achuchu, the one whose wife they took when he was in jail. And when he came from jail, he said, you better repress my wife who was taken. They just looked at him. He went and raided cattle to buy another woman. That's how it all started again. So it was the carelessness of our people, the corruption. But the third reason how we succeed is the Banyankole proverb, Okum Toguri and Shujun Kuitegwa. You make the hairstyle according to the shape of the head. If you have got a head with big bones like this, the hairstyle will follow the shape of the head. When we are budgeting, this is very important for you, Pharaohs. How could we build such a powerful army with very little money? Because we budget we plan according to our small budget. That's why when we are building the army, we don't start with the barracks. The barracks don't look so smart. We start with the personnel, the training, and the weapons. Soldiers are staying in some Mama Ingia Pole, but the one in Mama Ingia Pole can also kill you, like the one coming from a Gorofa. So that's how we have been managing. If you look at the budget of Uganda, it was like $500 million some years ago. You look at the budgets of other African countries, big, billions. Pasture for dairy, 1 acre. 1 acre for foodstuff, like cassava. In the backyard, you put poultry for eggs. You put piggery for pigs. Then if you are near a wetland, fish farming. And when you do that, you get millions of shillings, even if you are doing it on a very small scale. We are giving you the examples of the Nyakanas and so on. And I called this here in this booklet, intensive agriculture. Use intensive agriculture with high value enterprises to get out of poverty using a small piece of land which you have, either 4 acres or less. But even if you have got more, there's no harm. Instead of having 1 acre of coffee, have 4. What is the problem? You can still use the same even if you have a bigger land. And 10 acres you are talking about, because I want you to make the chura, not just talk. Now I want the chura of the average land holding in the north.
As I talk now, Your Excellency, an acre of maize can give you between 10 to 15 bags. And then the price of maize right now is between 600 shillings, 600, a kilogram. So a bag of maize right now is going to about 60 shillings, 60,000 60,000 shillings, Your Excellency. Now, when you multiply 60,000 by 10 bags, that's about 600,000 per acre, Your Excellency. We have to tell the truth here.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Your Excellency.
So don't waste our time again by bringing confusion here. This confusion, no, please. Even if you say 10 acres, because there are two strategies. Intensive agriculture is the 4 acres I'm talking about. But even if you have got 10, you can use the same for more land. You will be very rich. But the other one is extensive agriculture.
Because of the unstable prices of cotton, whereby last year, the last season, prices went as low as 1,500 shillings per kilogram.
That's how much now?
Yes. So you find that people were getting between 900,000 to 1 million shillings per acre. Yes.
Per year.
Per year.
Bepping. Now that leaves us with which one now? The other one, you have a lot of land. No, you don't have. 10 acres is not a lot of land. Because if you are going to get 1 million shillings per acre for maize or cotton, even if you have got 10 acres, how much is that? You will not get out of poverty. But with fruits, the return is very high. In some areas, it's very, very high. You can get the figures. Kindly invite the minister of the one to do with the trade.
Yes.
What is the problem? Why is the money so slow?
Minister of Trade, Honorable Kasaija.
No, Kasaija wouldn't know. There's nobody from trade.
Your Excellency, why Honorable Kasaija would know is because the money was appropriated for the same, but then that money was removed. So I think
that one, I'm the one who removed it. Because, but it does not answer why it had delayed all this time. There is nobody from, you get somebody from the one who is answerable for UDC to answer in the coming days when you are still here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
you.
We are still here to be here with us and for giving us a clear and a concise address. It is always inspirational listening to your words of wisdom. In fact, besides being a fountain of honor, you are a fountain of knowledge too, because there are some things that you're actually a encyclopedia. Your Excellency, while we appreciate the solution-oriented 4-acre model for prosperity, we still reiterate we need mechanization in the region. And like what one member said, they were given tractors without a horse. We need mechanization. We will continue preaching the prosperity gospel for transformation of our people. And honorable members will act as lead members. We lead by example. We will do this, and Your Excellency, between West Nile and Acholi, we don't have the demonstration farm. We would also request if we could have a demonstration farm between Acholi and West Nile, since we have one in Baralege. As St. Paul wrote to the Corinthians, faith without action is dead. Please, honorable members, Let's lead by action. Your Excellency, we want to appreciate your words of wisdom. And for the issues of free education, Parliament is always ready and willing to do what executive does. Kindly bring the instrument and we'll work on it to ensure that we have free education. And the memorandum that we are going to hand over to you, Your Excellency, is a document that has been worked on for the last 2 years by General Salim Saleh and team, and we want to thank him for the good work he has done while here. Once more, thank you, and we want to thank you greatly for coming. Can we stand for national anthems?
The other one, the smaller one. Which one? It has another smaller car.